some guy that always makes us great, is, as Vlad would say, the other Solana, the better Solana, Daniel Solana, joining us after a good game last night, but not excellent. Kind of give us a breakdown of what happened in the game and your overall thoughts of Inter Miami's draw 2-2 to NYCFC at home last night.
Good afternoon, guys. How's it going? I hope everything is going well. Was listening to you guys a little earlier, and I could not stop laughing in the 1 o'clock hour. I mean, I could not stop laughing. So congrats on the great show today. So let's talk a little bit about Inter Miami. Like you said, I thought overall, in my opinion, I thought it was a pretty good game for Inter Miami. Obviously, not the result that the fans wanted, only getting 1 point in their home opener. But there was a lot of, let's say, a lot of polemic things to talk about that happened in the game. First of all, the red card to Toto Aviles in the first half. I've read a lot on social media, and I've heard the comments from the referee last night. He was saying that it was the player who had an open goal, and essentially Toto Aviles grabbed him by the shirt outside the box, automatic red. In my opinion, I thought it should have been a yellow card. That really affected the match because once Toto Aviles got the red card, Inter Miami was down a man, and that's when New York City kind of got into the game. The game was basically almost over by that point. Inter Miami was already dominating. They were up 1-0, and they were going for more. That red card really, really conditioned Inter Miami for the rest of the game.
Let me ask you this, Dan. So in a situation like this, when you're playing 10 against 11 and you still put up 2 goals and really, is it more of a confidence builder for the team to know that, man, if we had a full squad there, we would have whooped the NYCFC's ass and gotten the full 3 points?
Look, I think if they were to play 11-on-11 full strength, or even 10-on-10, because I thought there was a chance in the first half. There was a player on New York City FC that made a foul on Suarez, already had a yellow card. The foul was for another yellow card. He should have been sent off, but the referee decided not to take out his card, and really, it kept the game kind of uneven. At that point, it was 12-on-10 because you had the referees on New York City FC side. But overall, I thought Inter Miami, like you said, yes, it could be a confidence builder that they were able to come back. But overall, they dominated the game even when they were down a man, guys. They dominated the game. They had more passes. They had more possession. They had more shots on goal than New York City FC. Really, it was a difference of two. I guess the referee and the man down that Toto Aviles got that red card. But other than that, it was a pretty good, I would say, first home opener, first game opening of the MLS weekend for Inter Miami. The stadium was absolutely packed, and it was raucous out there. There was a rumor that there was going to be a lot of empty seats because there's still seats for sale. But my hat's off to the fans. They did a fantastic job. They made great noise throughout the entire game. We heard the Messi chants, and we got a little bit of fireworks at the end of the game. Not sure if you guys saw what happened after the game, but Messi stayed and had an argument with the referee. There's a lot about that going on social media. He grabbed one of the assistant coaches of NYCFC by the neck. I don't know if you guys saw that, but to me, it didn't seem like
Messi grabbed somebody. Messi grabbed somebody by the neck?
Yeah, we talked about this earlier.
No. I understand this.
He wasn't that aggressive.
First of all, I'm shocked that he could grab somebody by the neck. The man's kind of short. You know what I mean? So
what you taking my man down for?
I mean, I'm just saying, if you grab somebody by the neck, make sure that's somebody like your size or something like that.
He did have to reach up. He had to
reach up, right?
Yeah.
He had to reach up. Relax. I don't want you getting injured by for after the game's shenanigans. That's ridiculous.
Absolutely.
You're the face of the league.
And Messi had 2 assists last night. And Daniel Solana, that leads to, of course, there's always going to be these crazy overreactions. And it was a tie, and it was the first game of the year. I'm seeing headlines now. Inter Miami is absolutely nothing without Messi. If it weren't for Messi, this team wouldn't even barely be a playoff team in the MLS. That couldn't be further from the truth, correct?
No, I mean, that is an absolute a blatant lie right there if they say that Inter Miami is absolutely nothing without Messi. We saw last year what this team could do without Messi and without Suarez when they were not on the team. I think that they're still capable of doing that. Like we talked about last week, guys, they put a very deep roster together. Yesterday, unfortunately, there was 2 players that suffered injuries. The first one was the hometown boy Fafa Pico, it looked like he pulled his hamstring in the first half, and he was replaced by Robert Taylor. Then you had Chelo Wigant, who was the right back, who's basically the only right back on the roster, goes down at the end of the first half with what looked like a left leg injury. You had Ian Frey come in and play pretty good as a right back. I thought it left a little bit to be desired. I thought he played better as a center back when he came in for Toto Aviles after the red card than he did as a right back. But he was part of that second goal, that game tying goal in the 99th minute. It was absolutely agonic, crazy goal. But that's what you get when you have the GOAT. I thought it was kind of crazy. Did you guys see what happened with the NYCFC player who scored the goal and did the Cristiano Ronaldo celebration?
No, I have not seen that.
Definitely check it out. So the first NYCFC goal, and I forget his name, but he scores a goal and does the Cristiano Ronaldo celebration in front of Messi. And he said that he is a huge Cristiano fan and that it was his dream to do the Cristiano celebration in front of Lionel Messi. So a lot of nothing wrong with that, but a lot of interesting storylines that got created, and it's only week 1.
I love it.
The MLS.
I love it. Week 1, we got narratives. This is like WWE. We need narratives. This is a long season. You need storylines. You need to build storylines. So the fact right now is that I think now, after what year? This is year 3 of the Messi MLS experience, correct?
Correct.
They have reached villain status. Inter Miami is a villain of the MLS.
There's
and
no doubt.
That's good. And that's good for the sport. That's good for the team. And it's good for the city because now that hey, you got the best player or one of the greatest players of all time, if not the greatest player of all time. You got his boys who are also probably, Suarez is probably one of the top. You could make a case for him being one of the top 10, 15 players of all time as well. They got great talent. Miami, you have a team that can win a title and is hated. Go support them like you did last night, but really support them because that's good. That to me, seeing this type of reaction, it makes me want to go support the pink and black if you're down here because now you're hated. And there's something down here we like. It's like you like when you're hated. That's why everybody loves the U. When the U was the team, that's because everybody hated the U. Inter Miami is now getting the hate that great teams of value get, like the Kansas City Chiefs, teams like that. I like that. I like the fact that a player went and said that, CR7 is his favorite player, and he wanted to do the celebration in front of Messi in Messi's field. Because he could have said that if they played in New York City, and nobody would have said anything. But you did it in Messi's field. You did it in Chase Stadium. You did it in the home of Inter Miami. So, yes, I love that attention. I like that. I like the fact that we get the Inter Miami's getting hate. I love it.
I cannot be happier as well. It just reminds me of the LeBron James, 2010 through 2014 Miami Heat seasons when all the Heat fans basically had to defend the team, life or death, while the rest of the NBA, all they did was just spew hatred amongst Miami and the team. And that's exactly, Vlad, you hit it, the nail right on the head. That's exactly what Inter Miami has created here. They are hated by the league, not just because they brought Messi, but because they won the Supporters Shield last year, because fans and people who follow the MLS think that the MLS is, let's say, inclined a little bit to help Messi out. But if whoever is a soccer fan and watched that game last night, the MLS did no favors to Inter Miami based on who they chose as the referee, based on the outcome of the game. But we have another game on Tuesday, fellas, and it's the return leg of the Champions League, and that's going to be a big game. So like you said, Vlad, I really hope that the fans go out there and support the team on Tuesday because that is the bigger game than last night. That is the game to move on to the next round, to face the Jamaican team, Cavalier FC, in that next round of the CONCACAF Champions Cup. And, I hope the fans go out like they did last night, go out on Tuesday, support the club, and I'll be there. I'll be there supporting them. So
if they win Tuesday night and they play the Jamaican team, the Cavalier, is that a home and home too?
Of course.
Oh, that means they go to Jamaica?
Yeah, Messi's going to play in Jamaica. How about that?
Wow.
I mean, how historic is that?
Ooh. Do you know how many Jamaicans are going to root for Messi?
Yeah. That stadium's going to be fully sold out.
That team's going to be sold out. They're going to love their team, but they really going to be there for number 10. Like, they're going to want to go see Messi. Like, listen, Yardis love soccer, and they love Messi. They love the way he plays. Wow. And speaking of that tournament, because like you said, they got to play the game 2 on Tuesday. They play game 1 Wednesday, this past Wednesday. And we talked about this. All three of us talked about this on the air last week. That are they really going to play this game in this cold? And they moved the game from Tuesday to Wednesday. And Dan told me Wednesday was colder than Tuesday, but they still played the game. Messi scored 1-0. They won 1-0. What's the give me your prognosis for this upcoming game this week? They don't have to give up a goal. Obviously, the road team has to score 2 goals just to get it to extra time. They got to score 3 goals to win. So what do you see?
They only have to score 1. So if it ends 1-0, Kansas City.
No, not Inter. Not Inter. I'm talking about the Kansas City.
Yeah, Kansas City. They would just have to win 1-0 in order to get to extra time because the away goals in the MLS.
That's right. It's more.
Count. They do count. So Inter Miami just has to keep a clean sheet. It's not going to be easy because they are going to be missing Chelo Wigant. They are going to be missing, Fafa Pico. So hopefully we get a chance to see Maximiliano Falcon, one of the new players in there. I expect to see Ian Frey starting at right back. He seems to be the only option that we have at right back, although it could be Gonzalo Lujan that gets his option to finally play right back. We've seen him strictly as a center back so far. So personally, I think Inter Miami will go ahead, take care of business on Tuesday, beat Kansas City, move on, and be heading to Jamaica in the coming weeks. So I'll give a prediction. I'll say it's going to end 3-1.
I'm right there with you, probably 2-1, something like that. Another great storyline for Tuesday night at the end of the game, Wednesday night, and talking about the rest of the league hating Messi and thinking that this team gets special treatment, preferential treatment. I'm sure you're up to date with one of the referees.
Oh, my God.
Went and asked Messi for his jersey after the game. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, after reading a little bit about that, he asked for the jersey and an autograph because he has a nephew who is a special needs kid. And so he was asking Messi for an autograph for his nephew. I don't see any harm in that if it's done after the game in private. Obviously, I think it's a big deal that it got out into the public eye because it almost seems like, the referee's going to favor Messi. But if you watch that game, I mean, the referee was pretty good for the entire game. I don't think there was any favoritism to either side. But this just goes back and reminds me of the 92 Dream Team when they were playing all these other teams, and the players during the game of the other teams would ask them for autographs and their jerseys during the game was going on. That's what
I can understand the players. They're from third world nations, or like I can get that. Nobody from Angola that they probably never seen Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley in their life. I get that, but he's an official. Like that's something that, first of all, if it was done privately, it was done privately. It's bad that it came out. Cool. I get that. But the fact that it did come out is bad. Like it had to be done in front of someone in order.
It's not Messi's fault.
Right.
Messi's an innocent.
And it's not it had to, but I'm going to blame it on the official because he had to do it in front of someone or tell someone for them to relay this message out to the public, because it ain't like Messi's gonna go on his social media or the referee, I just gave the referee. No, he's not gonna do that. No player does that. They just do it because that's the nice thing to do. But for the official to do it, fine. If it's for his nephew who has special needs, I understand that, and by all means do that. But that is something that should be done in privacy and should never ever be discussed or disclosed to the public, because now you living with, wait a minute, you get, Messi signed you a jersey and for your nephew, what other things are, you've asked Messi to do and he's done, what I'm saying? Like that's gonna open up a can of worms, bro. Like real talk.
The can was already open and has already been opened once all the MLS teams once Messi signed, and apparently it came out that all the MLS teams were giving some money for Messi's contract. Obviously, the fan bases got a sniff of that. And since that point, Vlad, Miami has been the villain, like you said, of the MLS. And really, I don't think there's any going back at this point. I think you have to live and just
embrace it
in the villain role. Absolutely.
Well, I'm absolutely embracing the villain role, but I do want to talk to you about this, Daniel Solana. Who scored the 99th minute goal last night for Inter Miami?
Velasco Segovia, the
And
Venezuelan
if you don't believe
international.
Some guy I know with a nice hat.
If you don't believe Daniel Solana knows his soccer,
I know, right? Some guy with a nice hat comes on every weekend. He told Dan and I and the audience about this young man being a factor on this Inter Miami squad. Daniel, go ahead, man. You told us that, and you were right. You hit the nail right on the head.
Hey, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, but I have enough experience to see, the players that I'm watching, and really, I really hit the nail on the head last night. It came to fruition. I thought Segovia wasn't even having a great game, but it doesn't matter if he's not having a great game, because he's going to have a great moment. And that's exactly what he did. He found the ball that Messi gave him, another beautiful, magical Messi moment, leaves Segovia wide open, one-on-one with the keeper. He chips the keeper, and Inter Miami almost had a chance to win it as well. That's how crazy the game was. Redondo had a missed opportunity just minutes before that. And I don't know what you guys think, but the first half, the referee gave 8 minutes of injury time. Second half, he gives 11. Then after the goal, he gave a couple more. A lot of minutes being played in South Florida.
So that should make for an interesting Tuesday, because that's a quick turnaround for the team. But if there's one person that's been doing this for a very, very long time, it's Messi, Suarez, Busquets, Alba. Some management's going to have to be done, I'm sure. What can maybe how is Tuesday going to differ from what we saw last night, or maybe even what we see next time Inter Miami plays an MLS game?
Well, the biggest factor is going to be the two absences of Fafa Pico, who's going to be injured and is probably not going to be back until the end of March, and Chelo Wigant, our right back, who is essentially going to be out until the middle of March with whatever injury, lower leg injury he has. So most likely we'll see Ian Frey starting at the right back position, and then we'll have to see if there's rotation amongst the rest of the lineup. I do expect Jordi Alba to play. He was only suspended that one game, so he should be back into the lineup. I do expect Busquets, Messi, Suarez, all of them to play. Most likely Tadeo Allende, who missed last night's game, most likely just to rest. Remember, guys, they're playing 3 games in 7 days, so it's not it's not an easy task, especially on some of these legs that are 37, 38. Suarez, I think, is turning 39 this year, who had been doing it for a long time. So 3 games in 7 days. That's why Suarez only got 60 minutes last night, and you got a little bit of rotation. So I'd expect to see a little bit of a different lineup than what we saw last night. Not too much. But definitely I expect, Javier Mascherano to put everything he has into the fire, like how we say in Spanish, everything into the barbecue, ready for the game tomorrow or Tuesday.
Real quick before you go, Daniel, have you seen Antonella Rocuzzo's Instagram?
Every day.
Oh, no, man.
All right. I have a real quick question for you. I'm going to
Vlad, you know who that is?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Check her out.
I know it is. Champions League, round of 16. You like it? Do you like the Madrid Derby? You like the Madrid Derby? By the way, they're in a 3-way race for the La Liga title between Barcelona and Atletico and Real Madrid. And then now you have a round of 16 matchup between Atletico and Real Madrid. Out of those matchups.
Yeah, but have you seen Atletico's schedule for the next 10 days or something like that?
It's like ridiculous.
Barcelona, Real Madrid twice. It's something absolutely crazy. That's what I was looking at when I looked at the schedule. Yeah, they have Barcelona, then they have to go play Athletic Club, Real Madrid, and then Real Madrid again 7 days later. So they have those 4 games in about like 2 weeks span. Then right after that Real Madrid game, they play Barcelona again. So I mean, look at that. But I love the fact that Real Madrid is finally drawing a tougher schedule to get to the finals. It always seems like for some reason FIFA and the Champions League always gives them a easier ride. So I like the fact that
absolutely yes. Let the man talk.
I like the fact that they
Absolutely,
had to play Man City, that they have to go through Atletico Madrid. We'll see who they get next time. But Vlad, wouldn't it be nice to see a Real Madrid-Barcelona final in Munich?
Well, look, this is my dad and I have had this discussion. You know, dad's a diehard. He loves football so much. So he loves Champions League. And we're talking, he likes the fact that they no longer have to separate countries or teams within countries or leagues anymore. They all can just boom, just go at it. And if you want to say that Real Madrid was saved, I mean, they've won 14 titles, so you can't say that they've been saved, but they have a harder draw. I don't believe that. They've always had tough draws. It's just that they beat the teams. PSG was a tough draw in the round of 16 a couple years ago. They had both. They had Messi, Mbappe, and Neymar. Yeah, not my fault that they lost. Like they played teams that are tough. They played what you would call it? What's the Serie A team?
That Juventus.
Juventus. They played them. They beat them.
Yeah, but
on the road to the title.
Yeah, but they played.
They played them in the round of 16.
Rounds.
They played them in the quarterfinal. What do you expect?
They've had
32 teams.
They've had easy draws. I'm sorry.
Oh
Look,
my God.
I'll tell you this though. I love the fact that there's a Madrid derby in the round of 16. I love the fact that there's going to be a derby, well, somewhat of a derby in Germany because you've got Bayern Munich against Bayern Leverkusen. I love the PSG Liverpool matchup. I mean, we really have some fantastic round of 16 games coming for us in the Champions League. So if you're not a fan of the MLS and you're a fan of world soccer, definitely check out the Champions League round of 16. Even that Aston Villa Club Brugge game is that matchup is gonna be really interesting because Club Brugge really took care of business in that first round and then in that second round. So man, soccer's year round, fellas. I love this. I love it.